Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. I noticed something strange on the Pi Foundation Wallet 2 yesterday that I want to show you and ponder about. I also have an update on the scammer bot. As I mentioned yesterday, I had somebody else who was at risk of losing their Pi, and I'll give you an update on that. I'm starting to suspect there is another way that scammers are getting your passphrases. We hear a lot of people saying that they've never shared their passphrase, but yet they're still getting their migrations stolen. So we'll talk about that as well. But first, the metrics. The circulating supply is 7.44 billion Pi, and there were 16,976 user accounts migrated yesterday, totaling 6.9 million Pi. There is 56.8 million Pi in the Pi migration wallet. The migrated unlocked rewards is at 2.23 billion Pi, with 8.7 million Pi unlocked in the last 24 hours and now free to be traded on the open markets. Looking at the price action, the Pi coin is currently trading at 53 cents, which is down 5.75% from this time yesterday. The market cap is at $3.96 billion, which is down 5.6%. The daily trading volume is at $100.52 million, which is down 4.22% from this time yesterday. And if you look at the chart, you can see that we did have a dip here yesterday, which I kind of expected. I did mention this yesterday. And then we rallied up a little bit over the course of the last 24 hours. And then we've dipped down again. And you can see here that we went as low as 52.4 cents. And buying pressure kicked in and started pushing this back up. I don't know what's going to happen here. But I don't expect any big rebound right now. But again, that's not trading advice. I just don't see any reason for a positive price movement at this time. Volume is okay. So you can take your chances trading. It's totally up to you. So look at this. I was looking at the Pi Foundation 2 wallet and I noticed this strange behavior. This particular wallet had a migration that occurred a year ago. And you can see that they had two balances that were migrated and they had two different lockups, right? This is the mandatory minimum 14-day lockup. And there was another one for 28 days. And the balance was 221.16. And then it unlocked. It was migrated a year ago. It unlocked within 28 days and then sat there. And then suddenly yesterday, it was claimed by the owner of the wallet. And then it was sent to Pi Foundation 2. That is very unusual. There is no precedent for this that I could find. And I don't know why this happened. It's possible that somebody accidentally sent it to the Pi Foundation 2 wallet. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can send Pi anywhere that's a valid wallet address, and that's permanent. There's a lot of situations where people accidentally copy and paste the wrong wallet address, and then their crypto is gone. And unless you know the person that you sent it to, there's a good chance you're never going to see it again. And there's also a type of scam that can happen where the scammers will send you transactions of very small amounts of crypto to pollute your transaction history. It's called address pool pollution. And a lot of people are in the habit of copying and pasting the wallet address from the transaction history. And if you don't realize that you're pasting the wrong address, you could end up sending payments to the wrong wallet. And what's even worse is that a lot of times these scammers will choose a wallet address that closely matches your own. So it's really hard to see unless you're watching for it. I highly recommend that you add your double checked wallet address into an address book and always use the address book when making any type of payment transaction. So I mentioned that there was a potentially not new, but new to me type of passphrase vulnerability. I had a gentleman who reached out to me, swore up and down, did not use his passphrase anywhere but to open his wallet. And I have to take him at his word. From the way the conversation went, he's an intelligent person. He seems pretty savvy with respect to how things work. The one mistake he made was that he fell for a Facebook ad that claimed to be able to unlock your Pi early. And in the information, it takes you to a website that is designed to look like an official Pi network website. And part of that process is to enter your passphrase. But this person swears they did not do that. They did contact the quote unquote support for this service and did provide some information that would allow them access to the account. Now, that wouldn't normally expose your passphrase, but this person got scammed anyway. I suspect what may be happening, and here's the chain of events. He contacted the support for this scam operation, gave some information that wasn't a smart thing to do, but it did allow them to log into his account. Now, that doesn't give you access to the passphrase. Then the next time that he went into his wallet using the passphrase, there was a glitch. The wallet failed to load, and it was kind of spinning on trying to load it. So he went through the process of shutting the app down, bringing it back up, and tried again. And it was at that time he noticed that his Pi was gone. Now, it occurs to me that what might have happened is they may have managed to put some sort of sniffer or watcher on his phone or his account. I'm not quite sure how the account security works on the Pi network, but I think the more likely situation is they put some sort of targeted malware on his phone. And if it's an Android, it's relatively easy to do with side loading. And what this malware looks like it did was wait for him to go into his app, enter his passphrase, steal it, and then use it to transfer their Pi. So in theory, he did not knowingly share his passphrase, but they got it anyway. And now all future migrations are at risk. Well, I wouldn't say at risk. I think it's pretty certain he's going to lose them. But this is one other potential avenue for scammers to get your passphrase that I hadn't considered before. Now, I also have an update on my anti-scammer bot. I tested the current generation of the bot yesterday on a individual who had their wallet compromised, and it did not work. The scammer transferred the stolen Pi to a MexC wallet, and that seems to be pretty common. And my guess is that the MexC KYC is rather lax, and you don't have to go through Pi KYC to get a Pi wallet through MexC. That would kind of defeat the purpose. So this person was not KYC through Pi necessarily, but did have a valid Pi wallet. And that's where this transaction went. And I took a look at this wallet, and there were a lot of other transactions. So this person is definitely an institutional scammer. But my bot did not make it. And I don't know how close it was. Everything happened very fast. And the scammer even swept the wallet afterward for available balances and took the small amount of Pi that I transferred to the victim's wallet in order to ensure that my attempts went through. So I lost some Pi there too, but that's always a risk. I expect to do that. So unfortunately, I feel bad. As usual, I apologize to the person for failing them, and I gave them detailed information that they could use to contact MexC and or the authorities and perhaps attempt to get the account frozen and maybe even get their Pi back. At this point, it's out of my hands. I'm working on the next generation. And again, I think this is going to be the final hurrah before I give up. And this version is quite a bit more sophisticated than the one that I just tested. And I won't give details on how it works, but I'm still working out the kinks. With anything this sensitive to timing, you have to make sure that it's bulletproof. So I have another person who is potentially at risk at the end of the month. I expect that I'll be ready in time for that event. But in the meantime, if anyone else has or knows somebody who has a compromised wallet that has an unlock in the next 72 hours, reach out to me. Let me know. You can leave a message in the comments, and I'll give you a way to contact me, and maybe we can try this out and try to help you. Well, that's all I've got for today. If anything breaks, I'll be sure to hop on here and let you know. But until then, don't panic, stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.